Hi everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Scar Mini Kit by Smoke. This does come with the TFV9 mini tank and it's a single 18650 battery mod. Super small. Basically this is the size right here. The mod itself without the tank up to here is the size of an 18650 battery. No bigger. Really nice and compact and small and hefty. It's also IP67 rated, which means that it's dustproof, shockproof, and waterproof up to a certain extent, of course. And it does go up to a maximum of 80 watts. So before I say anything else, let's go ahead and go down. I'm going to show you everything that it comes with. We're going to put it together and then we're going to come back up and we're going to do pros and cons. So let's go look at the Scar Mini Kit by Smoke. Okay, so here we are with the Smoke Scar Mini Kit. I do have mine in rainbow. This is rated for IP67. This is an 80 watt device. This is the box that it comes in. And that's what it looks like. You got your scratch off authenticity. And then on the back, it's going to give you some kit contents. Inside the package, you're going to get your user manual. This is going to be really short and sweet, which I really like. It's got some specifications. It's got your kit contents. And then it's going to have a little bit of information regarding, you know, how to set it up and everything else. Then, of course, you're going to get your verification card. So that's your warranty and verification. And then you're going to have this battery safety card. This does take one 18650 battery that's not included. You do want to make sure that it's in pristine condition, no rips, tears, or stragglies on it. So it does have to be in a good condition. In addition to that, you're going to get a Type-C charging cable. Yes, Type-C. So it's got that fast charging capability. Then you've got some O-rings and gaskets. This is actually for the top of your tank so that you can replace it if it goes bad. You're going to have a spare glass. It's the same size that's currently on the tank. And then you're going to get a spare coil. Both coils are exactly the same, so I'm going to go ahead and show it to you right now. So these are both 0.15 ohm resistance coils, and these are both good between 40 to 90. They are mesh, and that's what it looks like. These are the V9 coils. So you are going to be getting a tank. This is actually the TFV9 mini tank. So it's not as big as the original TFV9, but it is the mini version. This is actually a 22 millimeter in diameter tank. It is designed by Smoke, and it does have a slightly protruding 510, but never on a mech mod, not for sub-ohm tanks. On the bottom, you do have some airflow. Whatever you do to one side does happen to the other. And as you notice, they do put slits in it now so that you can literally just close off a section if you need to, if it's too airy, or you can just open it all the way up. On the top, you do have a removable 510 drip tip. This can be changed out to any of your aftermarket drip tips if you like, but it is 510 size. It does have top fill. This has that nice, really child-proof type of locking. What you're going to do is you're going to find the arrow on here, which is right there. So there's the arrow right there. And right there, you're going to lift up and you're going to swivel back. And that's going to open it up. So without lifting it up, if you just try to push it back, it won't work. I love any type of top fill slide locking mechanisms. And this one has it. And as you can see right there, it does have that silicone top, and it's got that membrane for your fill port. So you're just going to go ahead and fill it here. Now, if your bottle's too big for you to fill it, take off your drip tip and it'll make it easier access for it to fill. I really wish they would put it right here so that it makes it easier and it's away from the drip tip, but it is currently on the side for you to actually fill it. And then of course, to close it off, you're just going to lift up and swivel it. Then it locks right into place like that. To get into it, just unscrew the base. Once you do, the coil is going to pop out. If you need to change the glass, maybe it's cracked or something, you can do it at this point. You can also take it apart for cleaning. And installed is going to be that same coil. So this is actually the V9 coil. Now, I personally like to take out the coils whenever I get a new tank because sometimes it's not threaded incorrectly and you can get some leaking. So I always remove the coil, then I replace it. But before I screw it in tight, I actually turn it the opposite way to make sure that the grooves catch, that the threading catches, and it'll click into place once it does, and then tighten it down. What you want to do whenever you do have a new coil, what I recommend doing is going ahead and prepping the coil by putting a little bit of e-liquid wherever you see cotton. And this I do just to help it saturate and get nice and saturated, but it's not necessary. You can just go ahead and fill the tank and let it sit for about 10 minutes. If you do it this way, it's about like 5 to 8 minutes you have to wait. And then all you need to do is just go ahead and turn it and Put that in like that and screw it back. And again, if your bottle doesn't fit, then you can always take off that cap. Mine does fit, so. Okay. And then just go ahead and close it, lift up so it can click into place, and then push it down and it's all set to go. Now again, you do want to leave it anytime that you have a new coil, you want to leave it for a minute. Now it does say smoke here, as I mentioned before, and TFV9, just in case you forget which tank it is, it's labeled right on there. IP67 rated. This is without a battery. This literally feels like air. I just want to mention that. Super, super lightweight. Yes, it's going to have fingerprint magnet, you know, depending on which one you get. They've got a number of colors. Of course, I do have the rainbow. So the rainbow is a little bit more fingerprinty than a couple of the other ones that they have. Now, as you can see, you do have a spring-loaded 510 here. This will take up to a 24 millimeter in diameter atomizer right to the edge, though. It'll literally be right to the edge. But the tank that comes with it is a 22 and it fits really nice. Now, this cap right here is actually your battery cap. So what you're going to do is you're going to unscrew the top like this, and is in the bottom, you've got a little negative mark right here at the top. That means that your battery is going to be negative side up. If you can see down the bottom, there's actually a plus sign. So that means that you want your battery positive side down. And again, it does take an 18650 battery that is not included. Then all you have to do is just tighten this down. Now this is very reminiscent of the eLeaf Pico, the iStick Pico, very, very reminiscent, which I did have. The only problem with that one was that they had the wattage control buttons on the bottom. With this one, you've actually got it right on the display. So I really like that. Very, very small. It's literally the size of your battery. There is really no other play. So right here, you've got smoke. On this side, you've got Scar Mini. And then you've got that like leatherish kind of feel to it right here. And also you're going to have on the bottom, so this is where the charging port is. And again, it does take a Type-C charger. And then to put it back in, again, this is IP67 rated. So it does have to be really, really closed off. You want to make sure that it's completely closed so that way no liquid gets in it. And then of course you've got your display. Now to turn the device on, it is 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will turn on the device. Go ahead and zoom in. It's going to give you your version, and then it's got your screen. Now, as you notice, it does show 1 watt. It does go from 1 watt all the way up to 80 watts. And if you hold the button down, it does scroll pretty quick, like really, really quick. And if you press again, it does round robin. So you can go back to the beginning. You don't have to scroll back down, which I really like. Now, as you can see, you've got your battery percentage right there. You're going to have your resistance, your voltage, and then it's going to have your puff counter. To lock the device, it is 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3 will lock the device. Now the whole device is locked. 3 clicks and now it's unlocked. Now, if you want to lock just the wattage, what you're going to do is press and hold your plus and minus at the same time. This is going to lock your wattage. So now you can't change your wattage, but you can still fire the device. Do it again, and now it's unlocked. So basically, those are the only shortcuts that this really has. Being that it's so small and it's just a mini, that's basically all that you really need. It's wattage only. You don't have any other settings. You don't have to worry about it. And of course, it's going to fit your TFV9 mini tank on it perfectly. Again, like I said, it does hold the 22 millimeter with no problem. As you can see right there, it literally goes up to the edge of the rubber. And it gives a little gap. Now, if up to a 24, it's going to be a snug fit, and you definitely can't use like a bubble glass because it might hit this, but you might be able to fit it. Personally, I recommend not going any higher than a 22, but I just want to mention that. So that's pretty much it for the Smoke Scar Mini kit. So let's go ahead and go on top. We're going to vape on it, pros and cons. Okay, so here we are back on top with the Scar Mini kit by Smoke. Before anything, I'm going to go ahead and have a vape, and then we're going to talk more about it. As usual, cloud production is not a problem with the TFV tank. TFV, any tank. Now, currently, I do have mine at 47 watts. It does go to, I do have it at 47 watts. It does go, this coil is good, rated up to a total of 90 watts. This kit actually only goes up to 80 watts. So I'm going to go ahead and take it up more. So we'll go ahead and we'll go up to Let's go ahead and go up to the full 80. So I'm at the full 80 now. So let's see what we can do. They're TFV9 coils. Of course they're going to do great. I'm getting absolutely great flavor. I'm getting absolutely great cloud production. Flavor is like lingering on my tongue. I love the TFV9 coils. Really, really good. They actually updated their smoke RPM 160 with the TFV9 coils. Love, love, love it. Very, very flavorful. I love this size of a kit, and it's very comfortable to hold. So first, it's very comfortable. I just put my finger here because it just feels weird right here. So I just put my finger there. It's kind of holding my hand because it is kind of small. Now without the battery or the tank, it weighs barely nothing. Like you can't even tell it's in your hand. It feels like air. Now this does go up to a maximum of 80 watts. It's only wattage only, which is definitely a pro. The feel of this, definitely a pro. Single 18650 capable. Battery is not included. Very nice, especially if you're doing low wattages. The battery is going to last you. Now, personally, I do, as I always say, and everybody probably knows, I always carry two 18650 batteries with me. I think that I just, rotate them out, but I always have two 18650 batteries with me. Not necessarily an 18650 mods, but I always have two extra batteries, so that's not a problem with this. I really like it because it does remind me of the iStick Pico by eLeaf. And I loved those. I actually had all three versions that they had and absolutely loved it. The only problem is that they had the wattage change on the bottom. In this case, you don't have to worry about it. You actually have the viewing window, plus you've got the wattage right on the top. It is IP67 rated. That means that it's shockproof, dustproof, and waterproof. That does not mean the glass too, though. You have to be wary about that. A lot of people think, oh, it's like, shockproof. I can just drop it. Yeah, but your glass might break. But it's good that they give you an extra glass so you don't have to worry about it. Now, another pro I'm going to say is that it is very, very rugged. It's super, super rugged. You can feel the ruggedness in it, and I really, really like that. Another thing is that they give you the option to actually lock the entire device with 3 clicks, or you can press your plus and minus and just lock the wattage. I like just locking the wattage. On most devices that I use that have wattage, wattage buttons, I always lock the wattage. It doesn't matter what I have. It could be this, it could be any other device. If there's an option to lock the wattage, I always do, because I don't want to accidentally change my wattage and go to vape it and not expect what it's getting, or not get anything because I turned it all the way down, which has happened, by the way. Now, another pro is the top fill. The top fill, it has that locking on it, which I really, really like. I like anything that's top fill or slide fill to have a type of lock to it, and this has it. And I really like the way that it works. It's very smooth. You just pick it up, you turn it, you twist it, and it's really, really good. Airflow options, absolutely great. I like the fact that you can have, they put that stick in it a while back on a couple of their tanks, where they're actually splitting the full airflow into 4. So you can actually tone it down if you want to, and it's a little bit easier because you can cut off like half of the airflow, and it makes it a little bit more restrictive if that's the way that you like to vape. Now on to my cons. The first con is going to be the screen. The screen, I like it. It's not too dim, but it is a dim screen. Compared to other screens out there, this is probably one of the lesser screens. Not actually the least the most dimmest, because there have been some screens that are like, oh my God, I can't even see it in light, let alone in the daytime. But this screen, it's not that dim, but it is dim, so I want to mention that. Another con for me is going to be that the membrane for the top fill. I don't feel like it's placed properly. You can get some residual e-liquid coming back up, but if you corner your tip when you're filling it, it doesn't really, if you notice down below, it didn't really do that for me, because the fact that I put it right in the corner, and it works just fine. Now, I feel like they should have moved it to where the actual arrow is, so that the fill is on this side of the swivel once you open it up. So that's what I have about the top fill. Other than that, I really don't have any other cons, because it does exactly what it says it's going to do. It feels really, really nice in the hand. Those are pretty much my only cons. It's not going to have an 810 drip tip because it's a 22 millimeter tank, and it's not. You know what I mean? It's not. Now, this does have Type-C charging, but as always, if you have an external battery mod, I always suggest charging your batteries outside of the device. and just swapping them out when they run out rather than charging it through the device. But they do have that option for you. Now, that's just my pet peeve, and that's what I've always done. I mean, since the first time I started vaping, I've always charged my batteries outside, and they last a lot longer than if you have to charge them inside the device. So that's pretty much it. Scar Mini. Now, they're calling it the Scar Mini. I like the Scar series. I don't feel like it's a Scar Mini. I think it should have had a name of it on its own because of the way that it looks, the way that it feels and everything. I really think that it should have had its own name, but it is the Scar Mini. They can name it whatever they want because they made it, so I can't really say nothing about it. But for what it is, I think that it works absolutely amazingly well. Now, a lot of people say that it's kind of noisy, like this type of the noise that it comes out of the airflow. But honestly, with any type of single coil, which it has a single mesh coil, any type of single mesh coil, there is no way to cut it down. The only way that it would have been able to make it a little bit like softer would be to make like honeycomb airflow. That's the only way that you can really cut it down, because it's got that hole right in the middle of the coil, because it's a single mesh coil. It's gonna be a little bit noisy, but for me it sounds like just every other sub-ohm tank, in my personal opinion. But that's pretty much it for my review. Let me know down below, do you like these? I'm gonna go ahead and leave the colors up here. Tell me what your favorite color is. Mine is definitely the rainbow. As always, I love rainbow everything. So I'm really, really happy with this. I love the feel that I could just put my finger on here. I'm just so used to doing that. That's just the way I've been rocking it, just my finger right on the top of the battery cap. But I love how easy it is, and there's no crunchiness about any of it. Like, even if I'm opening up the battery compartment with the tank on it, there's no crunchiness, and I appreciate that because the smoothness is what counts. Other than that, I really don't have any other cons than what I mentioned already. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you're notified anytime that I upload a new video. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.